sure I can hear you. How's your day going today?
It is going great, actually. It was off to a little bit of a bumpy start, but then it smoothed itself out. And
Nice.
so, yeah, so far so good.
That's good to hear. Awesome. And still good. More of the day left to enjoy and have fun. And
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks. Okay, so the first question is if you just actually move your necklace down a bit, just so it's more centered there. Yeah, there. Yeah, we're no problem. So the first question is if you could please introduce yourself and describe what you do.
So my name is Chloe Sanchez.
Oh, sorry, you can look at me while
Oh,
we're
sorry.
talking. Yeah, no worries. Sorry.
Okay. So my name is Chloe Sanchez. I also go by Shiloh Justice, and I am an author and an artist and a community gatherer, activist, healer, event planner person.
Awesome. And what is your approach to your work?
I would say my approach to my work is authenticity and tangible results. So I really like my work to have direct impact on the individual. So it might not be like 100 people at a workshop, but the 15 people who are there, I'm able to give them that one-on-one that they need to heal, to transform, to transmute, to do whatever alchemization in their life they need to do for their wholeness and their healing.
Nice, incredible. And having the impact of bringing community together, what are some of your favorite things about that? Is there some of the highlights and joys?
Highlights and joys are bringing platform and voice and visibility to people that feel the most unseen. I feel that, especially in the art sector, there are a lot of amazing things happening, but then there's also a lot of things that are falling through the cracks. And that's one of the main reasons that I started Unseen Stars, because I felt like there are so many unseen stars in our city. And if we are to give them some visibility, some platform for a voice, they won't feel like that anymore. And it'll kind of like bridge those gaps and fill in those cracks.
Perfect, thank you. Great answer. And what inspires you?
What inspires me is the possibility of true healing and wholeness for everyone. And I think that beginning my life as a Crown Ward from so early, it really gave me this kind of like drive and this passion to make things better, not only for myself, but for other youth that, grow up without parents or, with parents that can't be there for them. I find that there are so many reasons that people's parents just can't show up, and addressing those needs is really, really healing for society. And so that's kind of my inspiration. Like, I remember one of the first poems that I got published was by Dwayne Morgan, and it was a poem for Crown Wards because their life expectancy is only 30 years old. And so I felt like a lot of my writing is obviously taken from my life and other people's life experiences, but then a lot of it is spiritual and it's channeled. And so I felt like I heard those collective voices and I poured them into a poem. And to have somebody like Dwayne Morgan recognize that and put that on his website, Poets Corner, was very, very affirming for me. And it kind of like gave me this push, like, oh my gosh, like, we are seen and we can be seen and I can keep doing this, And so to also have the city be so supportive from the beginning of my journey all the way till now is like very, very humbling for me. There was an organization, Q Sketch, amazing organization. They're no longer running due to so many issues like funding and stuff, which is so disappointing. But they really looked out for homeless youth and youth without parents and crown wards and orphans and stuff. And they funded my first book. And then that first book was again edited by Dwayne Morgan, like the first couple of chapters at Cedarbrae Library in Scarborough. And so just to see the different ways that the city can kind of like function and like harmonize together to, you know, make effort to fill those gaps, again, very inspiring, very affirming, you know, allows the journey to not feel like, you know, you're gonna end up with like artist burnout or anything like that, because, you know, you can clearly see the areas where the city is trying, other artists are trying, other established community leaders are trying, and that means a lot.
Thanks for sharing that. And what a circle, like a full circle moment, you know,
Yeah.
having Dwayne like in 2 times in your life where there's like an achievement, you know,
Yeah.
and creativity and having him there is like kind of like a pivotal stone in that.
Yeah,
So,
you know, and even just getting the call and even just being a finalist, it, you know, prompted me to really reflect and look back on my journey and see, you know, the individuals, the artists, the mentors that were there, the different ways that the city has been there, you know, because I honestly, when I first pitched some of my ideas to the city, I thought it was too much, and I thought it was too wild, and I thought it was too out there, and it wasn't, you know, because it's our city and it's our streets and it's our stories, you know, so we should not be ashamed of them, and, you know, we should continue cultivating these safe but empowering spaces where we can actually share them and heal.
Amazing, thank you. And how important is it for, or what's the importance of art?
The importance of art for me is transformation and healing, which can be summed up as alchemy. It is the ability to take pain, to take trauma, to take injustice, to take suffering and make it into something beautiful, something healing, something soothing, something that mends the tear, you know?
And including bridging the gap between mental health and wellness and art, how important is that for you in your work and the stories you tell?
It's my work. That is literally my work, is like bringing together all these different things so that they can merge into something beautiful. So writing for me isn't just, you know, similes and, you know, different literary devices. It's also bringing my knowledge of herbalism and my, you know, curandera ancestry to it. It's also bringing earth magic to it. It's also bringing ancestry and lineage and, you know, recipes that have been taught, like passed down, language that has been passed down that hasn't actually been kind of like redefined by the modern whatever, but like the true language, you know, from like grandma to mom to, you know, to us. So it's like, yeah, it's like, it's just full circle and like full body for me. You know, like I find like even in my poetry book, Savage Poetry, I have poems in there where she's in South America and she's gathering herbs and stuff to make elixirs and medicines for herself. Or I will talk about, you know, the importance of the blood and the soil and what that really means to Indigenous people, not only in North America, but in South America as well. So yeah, very, very important. Like, it's just all magical. better writer than a really good speaker.
No, you're a great speaker. All your answers have been really, really well said and like really strong.
Okay.
Really good. And then I always struggle with my questions all the time. I'm like, I know what answer I'm going for, but I don't know how to form my question. But then somehow the person always understands what I mean. And there's no wrong answer, of course, too, because it's just wanting to get more out of your truth and like yourself and express yourself.
Yeah.
So that's and then I'm sorry. I have like maybe 2 more questions. Oh yeah, almost forgot this question. So these awards are about recognition. Why is it important for artists to recognize their peers?
Oh, it is so important for artists to recognize their peers because it is a way to build confidence and solidify affirmation for artists that are just emerging, artists that are just coming out, artists that are maybe not that well connected, and to have that recognition, like I was speaking about earlier with Dwayne Morgan or even Randall, it's kind of like saying, okay, you've got wings, but you can also fly. Do you know what I mean? And so I think it's one of the most beautiful things that artists can do for one another is to support and recognize and share and uplift one another, because we each have such an important and incredible message, and when those messages and those narratives are spoken and shared in cohesion, that's what creates the most powerful change, right? That's like living alchemy.
Awesome, thank you. And the next question is, which I know you spoke on a little bit too, but what does community mean to you?
Community, for me, is a group of people who not only create space for you, but can also relate in some way to the trauma or the struggle that you've been through, so that you can all provide each other with the appropriate healing tools and nourishment. I find that sometimes the word community is like thrown around a lot, and then it's like hollow. Do you know what I mean? But like true community is like, I can call you, in the middle of the night and have a problem, and if you can't solve it, you're gonna reach out to somebody else that can solve it. And we are not always so constantly dependent on these outside external sources to save us, but we have built this community where we're now saving ourselves.
Beautiful. I like that answer a lot. Especially even noting that like the word community does get thrown around so much, and like it's like I want to build a community, or like this is my community, and then there's no, but like the action is more important than the words itself.
Exactly. And I find that that's why it's so important to grow communities organically with a kind of methodical intention, and it looks slow, but the slowness is kind of like the setting of that foundation. If it goes too big too quick, I like the air pockets and the hollowness can come in, and it's like, I really do think that the future of healthy, sustainable communities, shout out to Zainab Amadahi, one of my mentors, love you so much. The future to sustainable communities are smaller communities that are connected. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you've got a community here and they specialize in this wonderful thing because they've been through it and they've got these experts, and then you have another community here with the same thing, and when we need things from each other, we have this exchange, But anyways, I just went off on a whole
No,
very personal.
No, that was perfect. That was really good. I like that answer a lot. And then if you can express what the crown means to you and wearing a crown, and yeah, let's go from there.
Sure. So I was orphaned at 9 months old. And so I grew up without any parents or siblings. And so I was officially crown warded at 9 months. And so right off the bat, I was exposed to a multitude of different oppressions, not only systematic, not only political, not only legal, not only social, not only racial. It was just like, do you know what I mean? And when I found out that our life expectancy was only 30 years old, I was appalled. You know, I was appalled to be part of a society at that time that didn't even acknowledge, most people don't even know what a crown ward is, you know? And so I was like, I've got to make a change, you know, I've got to do something. And so wearing the crown is me acknowledging that we are more than wards, we are crowned wards. And to be crowned is actually a really good thing. And so this is me performing magic and alchemy on a label that was supposed to shame us and silence us, and taking that back and saying, no, you're royalty, you're worthy, you're valuable, and you actually have a place of belonging in this society too. And so I wear the crown with like so much pride, and like good pride, because but I wear the crown with so much pride and so much honor. And I don't only wear it for myself, I wear it for all of us. I wear it for the ones that did not make it to 30, and I wear it for the ones that have made it past 30, and I wear it for the ones that are still struggling with homelessness and drug addiction and mental health and chronic illness. I wear it for all of us.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Really good answer, and yeah, really strong.
Thank you.
Is there anything?
I'm not gonna cry. Sorry.
No worries. It's totally okay. Totally okay. I have a tissue, or can take a break.
Oh yeah, okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to share that I might have missed, or that you'd like to talk about?
I think I just genuinely like to say thank you for finally recognizing the crown. So often we hear about the crown and it's not a good thing. You know, like the crown's doing this to these people, the crown's doing that to this people. And I think that this is a very, very neat way for the people to like literally take back their crowns, you know, because it's not one set of people in the world that wears them. It belongs to all of us. So that's, yeah, that would be my final message.
Amazing. Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you.
No problem.
Breathe.
Yeah, no, it was really, really good.
Thank you. This was amazing. I really appreciate your energy and vibe. And
Thank you.
yeah, because like I struggle with anxiety, and I like walked in and like I immediately felt a calm, and I thank you for that.
No worries. I'm so happy I can like give that energy. I just want to be relaxing, chill, calm. You know, there's no rush
Definitely
here.
not.
There's no like tense or pressure or anything. You know, just come be who you are, have a fun shoot. We can talk and
I loved it.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, we'll do the slow motion video now, and then we'll wrap from there.
Amazing.